Hi, I'm Patty Hankins with BeautifulFlowerPictures.com, and I absolutely love taking photographs of flowers and other scenes in nature, and what I want to do is help you take better photos of what you're seeing in nature with the photo gear you already own. So here are 3 tips to help you do that. Tip number 1 is to use a tripod. Whatever kind of camera you use, if you can mount it on a tripod, you really should use one, because using a tripod will allow you to slow down and better plan your photographs. The tripod will hold your camera steady, because no matter how hard you try, you cannot hold it as steady in your hands. Even breathing will affect how stable your camera is. And if your camera isn't stable, you're going to have a much harder time getting a sharp, in-focus photograph. And I know, one of the arguments against tripods is they're bulky and they're heavy, but they don't have to be. If you have a small or lightweight camera, you can use a lightweight tripod. If you use a larger camera, consider getting a carbon fiber tripod. They are a bit more expensive, but they're much lighter and easier to carry with you in the field. And what I've found since switching to the carbon fiber tripods is that I am much more likely to be carrying it with me, and if I've got it with me, I'll use it. So don't forget to get a tripod, and don't forget to use it. Tip number 2 is fill the frame. As you compose your photograph, decide what is the most important aspect of the photo, and then try and fill as much of the frame of the camera as you can with your subject. It lets you emphasize what you're seeing and that this is what you want to be sharing in your photos. It allows you to better show the amazing details and magic that we see in nature. And it's much better to get closer into your subject or zoom in with your lens than to take the photo from farther away, because where it makes a difference is when you go to print your photos. If you've had to crop your photograph to fill the frame with the subject, then you have much less data to print with than if you had filled the frame when you'd composed your photo. So don't forget to fill as much of the frame of your camera as you can. Tip number 3 is to try several different compositions for your photograph. This means to photograph your subject from different angles. So after your first set of photos, take a few minutes and photograph from a few different angles. From above, looking up, from the side, from the wide angle, from closer in. Who knows, you may find that your second or third composition works out to be the best one. So remember, tip number 3 is to photograph your subject with multiple compositions. And here's a bonus tip for you. Don't forget to review your photos before you leave the field. You'll make less errors and be much happier with your photos. Most digital cameras today allow you to review your photos after you've taken them. So be sure to take a few minutes and take a look at what you've photographed. Make sure that you have the composition you want, that it's in focus, that there aren't any distracting details or elements like the photo, like your fingers are in front of the camera, or some of your camera equipment's in the photo, or there's a leaf or a blade of grass that's covering your subject. So this gives you the chance to discover that if you haven't captured what you wanted, you can reshoot it then, because it's much easier to take a few more photos while you're still in the field than to have to head back out to wherever you were photographing if you wait to review your photos when you get home. I hope these 3 simple tips, using a tripod, filling the frame, and photographing from multiple angles, make it easier for you to take better photographs and get the results you want. Now be sure to visit my BeautifulFlowerPictures.com website to receive your Moment of Beauty gift pack. And while you're on my website, you can find information about upcoming workshops. And remember, you don't need a fancy camera to attend one of my workshops or to take wonderful nature photographs. So until next time, have fun photographing the beauty of nature and sharing that beauty with others.